How to create a recession-proof personal retirement plan. Most people are scared when it comes to making long-term decisions about money, let alone retirement, and therefore turn to financial advisors or other experts. On the other hand, folks who are well-versed in money matters trust their own instinct and build optimal portfolios. No matter which category you find yourself in, you should follow a few steps to attain financial independence and create a solid retirement plan. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. Today's conversation is around retirement planning, and this is a great topic that we have received a lot of suggestions about, and I'm very happy to talk about it today. And I'm doing fantastic. How are you? I hope you are doing as marvelous as I am. And if you really are, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka. Let's roll. Now, to create a personal retirement plan, number one, you want to evaluate your present situation. Think about things like your assets, your debts, your income, your retirement account holding, what you currently have, the kind of instruments, the kind of securities you have in your retirement account. You want to consider also your family and personal situation. Those factors, among others, will help you assess your personal situation. Now, it's very important to understand that when it comes to retirement planning, you need to think about long run, depending on how old you are. But chances are you're probably in your 30s or 40s or even 50s. You still have time. So for me, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, that's long term, right? So you want to perform an honest evaluation of where you are now financially in order to create a plan that can accurately address any shortfalls you have in your financial life. All right. Now, when it comes to also the retirement, you have to think about the retirement account you currently have, right? I'm talking about your IRAs and the workplace retirement plans, such as the 401k and the 403b. Now, we have done an entire show about the 401k and the 403b, so I'm not going to get into that. Another thing you want to think about here is that you want to also think about emergencies. Do you have a rainy day fund, right? I'm talking about things that will cover you, an account that will cover you if misfortune were to strike today, or if you have a large purchase such as a new car or a down payment for a house. Do you have a fund to cover that? Those are things you need to think about. All right. Number two, hire a financial advisor. This is important. Now, a financial advisor is someone who has a broad, deep knowledge about money and money management. Now, if you yourself are not well versed in the intricacies of money and money management, it might be interesting again to hire a financial advisor. Now, let me just give a quick disclaimer here. This show is not about giving financial advice. We're just giving you a general information, right? Everybody's situation is different, so you might want to contact an expert to help you sort out your own retirement situation. All right. Now, there are some pros and cons when it comes to an investment advisor. Now, when it comes to pros, they can help you invest. They can help you do some financial planning, right? They can look into your saving strategy, your retirement options, and overall retirement plan, right? They can also help you understand how to grow your portfolio over time. They might recommend what mutual funds, some stocks, bonds you need to buy, right? Another thing you need to do here is that you need to know when it comes to an advantage about hiring an investment advisor is that a financial advisor, for that matter, they can save you time, especially if you're not a financially inclined person. You want to reach out to someone who's an expert. This will save you time, right? And the thing here is that we're talking 30 years, we're talking 20 years, we're talking 10 years. So spending a few $100s to buy the expertise of a financial advisor is a great investment, because you're getting great advice at a reasonable price and that advice will help you shape your future over your lifetime and even into the next. Because when it comes to estate planning, your descendants, your children, your beneficiaries are gonna benefit from that, right? So those are the pros of hiring a financial advisor. The cons, when it comes to financial advisors, sometimes they don't have your best interest in mind. Remember, some advisors are paid to sell products, to sell funds, mutual funds, ETFs. So they might be more inclined to sell you something to collect commissions, right? So it's not really, but that's one of the reasons why you want to basically use a fee-only advisor. When you're looking for an advisor, you want to hire a fee-only advisor, not someone who is compensated through commissions. All right. Number 3, be clear on your sources of income. This is important. If you want to create a recession-proof personal retirement plan, you need to be clear on your source of income, right? Now, ideally, you want to have multiple sources of income. I'm talking, your regular job, your 9-to-5 job. If you have time and the energy, you might want to get a part-time job. So maybe work a few hours every week. You can also start thinking about passive income, creating passive income, right? You can start an online business. So there are myriad opportunities out there for you to diversify your sources of income, right? This is very important. If you are covered by a pension plan, so monthly income from that asset should be added to your sources of income, right? When it comes to sources of income, you can also include Social Security benefits. Again, it depends on your personal situation. If you're the beneficiary of a trust account and you're getting money from that trust every month. So the idea here is for you to be clear on all your sources of income as you are thinking about creating a recession-proof personal retirement plan. All right? I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. We are still continuing our conversation around personal retirement planning. And if you like the content of the show so far, please consider subscribing to our channel. Turn on the notification bell. Like this content, share, and comment. Number 4, consider your retirement goals. This is important when it comes to retirement planning, right? What are your goals? Are you clear on those, right? When it comes to retirement, a lot of retirees and pre-retirees would love to travel, spend more time on leisure activities, start a business or a new career, volunteer, or go back to school in their golden years, right? So it's up to you to know exactly the kind of vision you have, so you can, of course you can have other goals, right? I'm just giving you a list of things, but the thing is that you gotta think about those goals before hitting retirement, because once you hit retirement, you'll be in a total mindset. So if you plan things in advance, then you are better off, right? Especially if you want to live somewhere else, you want to sell your main property and just move on to a smaller property, or live in a quiet, modest lifestyle, a retiree community, that you can also do. Or if you want to travel, again, it's all about what you need to think about. Now, the retirement goals here, I'm talking about here, must include, and I repeat, must include insurance. The older you get, the more likely you might get into some kind of medical issues. You might get sick, whatever. So you need to have medical insurance. All right. Now, if you want to expand it, if your budget allows, you want to get life insurance, long-term care insurance, prescription drugs, and doctor's visit. So you want to cover all those things. You want to cover health and medical expenses. All right. Now, which leads me to the next, my next point here. Get proper insurance coverage. So I talked about medical insurance, right? So that's very important. Umbrella insurance, which is another insurance that's very important. Now, what is an umbrella policy? An umbrella policy provides extra liability coverage above and beyond what's included in your regular insurance. So think about it as the extra insurance out there that will cover you were something to happen and your traditional policies can't cover the whole thing. Hence the name umbrella, right? When it comes to insurance coverage, also you might want to include annuities, right? So, nowadays we have folks living all the way to 90 years old or 95 or 85. So people are living longer, right? So, if you were lucky to live that long, your personal savings might not be enough to cover an extended retirement. Think about it, this is a long time. Think about if you have to live until 90, that's 25 years after retirement, meaning, assuming you retire at 65, that's a quarter of a century that you have to live after retiring. So you need to have cash, you need to have the right revenue to sustain yourself, to support yourself throughout that time frame. So annuities are a great addition when it comes to sustaining yourself financially. Also, you might want to think about life insurance. Of course, life insurance is the main goal here is to replace lost income, right? Life insurance is usually for your beneficiaries after your death, but there are some types of life insurance that has a cash portion that you can use to pay off debts, and you can also provide for a spouse in the event a pension doesn't include survivor's benefits. All right. Now, number 6, you want to set a target retirement age. Now, I know when people think about retirement, everybody thinks about 65. Some people are willing to go as high as 70. People can even stop working at 45 or 50, but you need to set a retirement age. So because the mind works better, your conscious mind and your subconscious mind work better when there is some certainty, there is some specificity. Things are specific, so you want to know beforehand how long you have to work, right? So this kind of also helps with the math. If you say you're 45 and you say you want to retire at 65, that's 20 years. And based on your goals, based on the lifestyle choices that you've made, based on the amount of money you would want to have when you retire, you can put everything on an Excel spreadsheet and do the math. So you have 20 years. So you need to set that target retirement age. Of course, it's a target, right? Things change, things happen, God forbid something happens to you, but you need to have a plan, because if you don't have a plan, if you don't plan, then you're increasing the probabilities that your goals will not be fulfilled. So you want to plan something. All right. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. We are talking today about how to create a recession-proof personal retirement plan. And the context of today's conversation is very simple. Most people are scared when it comes to making long-term decisions about money, let alone retirement, and therefore turn to financial advisors or other experts. On the other hand, folks who are well-versed in money matters trust their own instinct and build optimal portfolios. No matter which category you find yourself in, you should follow a few steps to attain financial independence and create a solid retirement plan. Now, I've given you already 6 steps. I have 3 more to go. Assess your risk tolerance. You want to evaluate your risk tolerance. This is very important. Are you a risk taker? Are you risk averse? Depending on your age, certain financial products are better or worse for you. For instance, if you are in your 20s, you can easily buy stocks into your portfolio. You can do an 80-20, so 80% in stocks, 20% in bonds, fixed income products. But if you're 60 or if you're 45 or 50, you can't take that risk, right? Because stocks are generally more volatile than fixed income products such as bonds. So if you're 60 or 55, you would want to reverse that 80-20 into 20-80. So 20% in bonds and 80% in fixed income products. So you need to assess your risk tolerance, and in addition to by analyzing your risk tolerance and coupling that with your lifestyle choices and your retirement goals, you should be able to come up with an optimal portfolio in terms of how you want to allocate your cash. All right. Number 8, fix any savings shortfall. Now, savings is very important. I was giving you earlier the example of if you have 20 years to retirement, and you want to say you want to get maybe monthly income of 5,000, then you need to compare what you want to have by retirement age. So in 20 years, the amount of money you would have versus what you currently have, right? So if you have a shortfall of say 100,000, that means over 20 years rather, before you hit retirement, you need to save an extra 5,000 every year, right? So it's very important to do the math and see whether the accumulated retirement assets exceed the anticipated amount needed to fully fund your retirement, right? Don't underestimate the importance of this question, right? Another thing you need to pay attention to is to diversify, and this is the last step here. You need to diversify your retirement accounts. Now, by diversification, I'm talking about making sure that you are able to invest in a mix of financial securities, whether stocks or bonds or mutual funds or ETFs. ETFs standing for exchange traded funds, right? You want to customize things with individual stocks and bonds. You want to focus on industries that you know that you're very comfortable with. Be a value investor. It's not here. The idea is not to speculate. The idea is to buy and hold for a long run, so you can reap the benefits, not only through capital gains, through appreciation of the share price, but also the dividends, right? You can also invest abroad, right? You can vary company size and type, so you can invest in several industries, several sectors. Now, folks, again, let me repeat that this is not financial advice. This is general information only. Everybody's situation is different, right? So you want to consult with a finance expert, if you're not one yourself, to know exactly what fits your particular situation. All right. Now, another way to diversify your retirement accounts also is to reach out to your benefit administrator to find out what kind of holdings are in your 401k, your IRA, and other retirement vehicle, right? It's very important that you kind of get an eye to sort of follow and track what's really happening, because after all, it's your money. So you want to pay attention to that, to what's going on in those accounts. All right. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. I have much more for you. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. We want to wrap up today's conversation, and for those people who just joined us, please consider subscribing to our channel. It's great to have you around. We drop quality content every single day. Share, subscribe, like, comment below. Let us know your experience when it comes to retirement planning, and if you are a financial advisor yourself, give us a few gems as to how to manage our retirement portfolio better. The recap of today's show: to create a recession-proof personal retirement plan. Number 1, evaluate your current situation. Hire a financial advisor. Be clear on your sources of income. Consider your retirement goals. Get proper insurance coverage. You want to set a target retirement age. You want to assess your risk tolerance. You want to fix any savings shortfall. And last but not least, diversify your retirement account. All right. Now, when it comes to today's pro tip, I have a pro tip for you. We like to drop those tips from time to time. A great retirement plan helps you achieve 3 main goals. Remember, 3 main goals. Number 1, liquidity. Number 2, longevity. And number 3, legacy. Now, when it comes to liquidity, we're talking here 5 years into your retirement, right? So the goal here is to provide cash flow for short-term expenses and help you maintain your lifestyle, right? I'm talking about entertainment and travel, buying a home, taxes, that kind of stuff. Longevity, we're talking here 5 years until your death. So this covers longer term needs that helps you improve your lifestyle, right? In retirement, I'm talking purchasing a second home if that's your goal, healthcare and long-term care expenses. Now, the third goal when it comes to proper retirement planning is legacy. Here we're talking about beyond your lifetime, right? Those cover needs that go beyond your own to help you improve the lives of others, right? So things like philanthropy, giving to family, wealth transfer over generations. All right? Thank you for listening, and I will see you next time. Be marvelous.